The Zarvok Empire had conquered 47 star systems in less than a decade. Their fleets darkened the skies of 100 worlds, and their armies had never known defeat. When they reached the edge of human territory, King Thraxus of the Zarvok expected the same swift capitulation he'd witnessed countless times before. Instead, humanity sent a single transmission, declined. Thraxus couldn't believe the audacity. He broadcast across every human channel, his grotesque, six-eyed face filling screens from Earth to the outer colonies. Your species is weak, cowardly. You hide behind your little planets while true warriors conquer the stars. Send your best army to the neutral ground of Kepler, 442b, where we will glass every human world until nothing remains but ash and memory. The Galactic Council watched with morbid curiosity. Surely the humans would send fleets, armies, their finest soldiers. Instead, Earth's response came from an unexpected source. A tired-looking military officer who simply said, "We accept your challenge. We're sending 2 men. 2 men, against an army of 10,000 Zarvok warriors." The galaxy watched in stunned silence. Some species mourned humanity's imminent extinction. Others placed bets on how quickly it would be over. The Zarvok laughed, convinced this was either a poor joke or proof of human stupidity. On Kepler, 442b, a barren moon with rust-colored soil and thin atmosphere, King Thraxus assembled his greatest warriors. They wore ceremonial armor, carried plasma weapons, and stood in perfect formation. This would be a demonstration, a message to every species in the galaxy. Defy the Zarvok and perish. The human transport ship landed silently. The ramp descended. 2 figures emerged. The first moved with the fluid grace of a predator, dark tactical gear clinging to a lean frame. His eyes were cold, calculating, missing nothing. The humans called him the Baba Yaga, the Boogeyman, though his real name was lost to classified files. He carried no visible weapons, yet somehow that made him more terrifying. The second was broader, taller, with the build of someone who'd spent a lifetime perfecting violence. His face bore scars that told stories of survival against impossible odds. They called him the American Boogeyman, and legends whispered he'd once cleared an entire enemy stronghold with nothing but improvised weapons and pure determination. Thraxus studied them with disgust. This is humanity's answer? 2 aging soldiers? We could have been worthy adversaries, but you insult us with. Clock's ticking. The first man interrupted, his voice devoid of emotion. You wanted to see what humans are capable of. We're here to educate you. The Zarvok King's rage was palpable. Kill them. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for centuries. The 2 humans didn't charge. They didn't take cover. They simply moved. The Baba Yaga became a ghost, appearing behind enemy lines before anyone registered he'd left his position. Weapons were stripped from hands, throats were crushed, pressure points were exploited with surgical precision. He moved through the Zarvok formation like death itself, and everywhere he passed, warriors fell. The American Boogeyman was chaos incarnate. He grabbed a fallen plasma rifle, modified it mid-combat into something the Zarvok had never imagined, and turned their own technology against them with devastating efficiency. When weapons ran dry, he used the environment. Rocks became projectiles, salvaged armor became shields, the very dust of Kepler, 442b, became a weapon when thrown into breathing apparatus. The Zarvok had numbers. The humans had something far more dangerous. They had nothing left to lose, decades of experience, and the accumulated knowledge of humanity. Thraxus watched his army crumble. He'd seen war, but never anything like this. These weren't soldiers, they were artists, and violence was their medium. The Zarvok fought with honor, with formation, with protocol. The humans fought to win, using every trick, every exploit, every psychological advantage. When the last Zarvok warrior fell, only 3 figures remained standing on that rust-colored battlefield. The 2 humans stood among the carnage, barely winded. King Thraxus knelt before them, his armor shattered, his pride broken. "What? Were you?" he whispered. The Baba Yaga tilted his head slightly. "We're what happens when you call humanity cowards. We're what you get when you threaten our worlds, our families, our species."